Hey, what's going on? Hope you're having a shit one. Today I'm with...
Xandria.
Today we're going to be trying some household photography. Hope Mum doesn't mind me just walking around in her room and just filming everything. If we bring these blinds down... Oh, I thought that was going to work. Oh yeah! Mean! And release. And release. Do you know how to do this?
I don't know, I'm gonna guess. No.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I don't know. Oh, but why does one side... What is this shit? Remember this thing from the other video? I had an idea. We I don't know. I'm thinking if I get enough of this and then we cut like a tear in the middle of it and then Xandria opens it up and then I've got I can get like a portrait of her or a portrait of you.
Yeah.
Through the middle of the tear.
Yeah.
We'll try it. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna get some Glad wrap and run it around this tripod and run it all the way across to this tripod, and then we're gonna turn the lights off and then use the homemade lightsaber as our light source, and then we'll use the closet back here as like our black backdrop. Give it a shot. I gotta get the Glad wrap out first and try and string it across both tripods to see if this even works. I think that's pretty cool. Let's try and poke a hole and hopefully it doesn't completely fuck the tension of all of this, which I have a feeling that it will. Here comes me knife. Oh.
Do it. Oh.
Oh fuck.
You know, how about if you leave it like that and then I'll rip the rest?
Okay, and I think like if you were to like tear it
like that?
on either side, yeah, we'll do it for the actual shot though.
Oh, okay.
Oh, slowly, stop there.
Something I did in one of my other videos is I got an iPad and I tried to use it as a light source. So we're trying that again, but this time, because this is a blue light, I reckon a purple light on the other side of her face could be really cool as well. So I'm just trying to find like a really cool purple pattern or something that we can hold up against her face that may make a cool reflection or something, I don't know. Oh, that's cool with just a red light. Hey, this is an idea. What if I put one more light behind you?
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Home studio.
Far out.
You gotta sit really still, and because my shutter speed's quite low because we're in a really dark environment and it's not really that greatly lit, so I've got to like bump my ISO up quite a bit, but I don't want it to be too grainy, so I'm only shooting at 1/50th of a second and I've got to be really still, otherwise my images are going to be blurry. Oh, so I'm like been holding my breath and I feel like out of breath because I've been holding it and it's making me hot and sweaty, but I think we took a lot of good images there and we tried a whole bunch of different colors there. I don't know, I'm actually really excited to edit these photos. I think I've done a lot of shoots recently that have pushed me far more creatively than any of my other shoots I've done in a long time. And I actually got inspired to do this shoot from Dexter, the cover, Dexter cover. Yeah. So Xandria and I have been watching a lot of Dexter lately, and I saw the cover photo on like a Netflix, like one of the Netflix seasons or whatever. But I saw this and I was like, I wonder how they did that. Maybe they used like a plastic or something, or like Glad wrap, or I call it Glad wrap or cling wrap or whatever. Doesn't matter what you call it. You could see here like what I was saying earlier about like being really still and shooting on 1/50th of a second. I had my ISO at 2000, and by the way, all these photos were shot with this 35mm Sigma, the 1.4. Like, as far as quality prime lenses go, this is probably the cheapest and best you can get. So I think Australian, I'm speaking here, I think US, they're $500-600. Australian brand new, they're $900 to $1,000, which is actually pretty cheap for a prime lens that has this kind of quality. You can see here that I was like struggling a little bit, you know, I'm losing quite a bit of focus here and my ISO is relatively high. So, you know, if I bump it up too much or whatever, you can see grain really easily with that amount of ISO. I took a photo of my cat as well. I actually think he's cross-eyed. Unless that's like a normal thing that cats do, but he's not quite like looking straight. And then we switched to the purple light here. Because I had more lighting in the frame now, in the shot, it allowed me to crank my shutter speed a little bit and drop down my ISO. So it was much easier to get the shots in focus and a lot more stable, but I still had a little bit of trouble here, like trying to hold the camera still and stuff. So that's why I try and take like as many photos as I can. Like maybe I'll take like 4 or 5 photos if I'm shooting a lower shutter speed. So hopefully out of those 4 or 5 photos that I've shot, one of them is in focus. But I think this is my favorite shot from the whole shoot. There's the before, there's after. And I started out with using the preset Storm actually, and then dropped my exposure, did quite a lot of brush strokes and stuff. And what I'm doing when I'm using the brush is I'm mainly just either playing around with my exposure or saturation. And then I added a graduated filter coming from the top and then brighten up the top there as well with a bit of warmth in there too. So I really like this photo, and I like this photo the most because I think it brings back the skin tones pretty well. As far as my editing goes, I might get better at portrait photography in like a year's time and then look back on this and be like, no, that's fucking terrible. I think that's one of the hardest things with portrait photography is actually trying to get the skin tones correct, trying to get the lip color correct, trying to get the eye color correct, and making sure that it all sort of sits nicely in one image. I think that's the hardest part about portrait photography, especially if you're shooting through Glad wrap in a dark room. I had a really hard time sort of directing this light bar because I was holding the light bar, trying to hold really still because I'm shooting at 1/50th of a second. I'm holding my camera in the other hand, trying to get this focus to work, and the focus is sort of jittering a little bit because it doesn't have much detail to sort of grab onto because it's quite dark. And yeah, I wasn't really sure what I was doing, but the light source should have definitely been on her face and not her hand. But I gave some of them an edit anyway, which now I don't really like. I think I really like this one as well. I think it's pretty good. Like, you wouldn't know it was shot in my bedroom in the dark. I didn't really like this one because I don't think the color sort of works that well with her skin tones. So I didn't really even bother editing this, but appreciate this focus that I got. But yeah, otherwise that was a lot of fun. And before I end this video, actually, got some exciting news. Actually, so exciting, we're gonna stand up for it actually. Get in there, hang on. You know how I was saying this is a great lens before? I've teamed up with Sigma Australia and we're gonna give away a 35 1.4 to anyone in the comments below. So all you have to do to enter is go and follow Sigma Australia on Instagram and then comment on this video your camera mount. Just comment below your mount code so we know obviously which mount to send you for your camera, because if you win and then get the wrong one, then it's gonna be a fuck around. So pretty simple. Someone in the comments gonna win a 35mm Sigma and we will ship it to anyone around the world. But if you did like this video, leave a like down below or help me out by hitting subscribe. All that is said and done, have a shit one.